welcome to another Mario Party 8 minigame review. Up today, we're playing the 1 vs 3 minigame, Gun the Runner.
In this one, the single player is trying to jump their way to the top where the goal is, while the other 3 players are trying to shoot them. If the single player makes it to the goal before time's up, then they win.
I really like that this was so different for each side. I like that you're doing something different if you're playing as a single player versus playing on the team.
Yeah, I did too, and luckily both sides are pretty fun to play. Like, it's fun if you're the single player trying to dodge out of the way of all the bullets, and on the team it's really fun just shooting the single player.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many minigames where you're basically doing the same thing as the team versus the single player, and not so many where it's completely different. So I really like that, and both sides, like you said, were fun to play.
I think the thing that I most disliked about being on the team side was that when you shot a bullet, it kind of lobbed, so you would have to shoot higher than the single player to actually hit them, which I guess I understand why they did it, because they didn't want to make it too easy for the team, but it's definitely still something you have to get acquainted with.
Yeah, that took me a few times playing to really get it. It's so chaotic when you're on the team because you have to make sure you're watching out for your reticle and not the other players. And then you want to keep track of where you're hitting the opponent so you know if you need to shoot higher next time or a little lower. So getting that just sweet spot was a little bit hard, but I think that added a nice challenge and didn't make it too easy.
And as for the single player, I think the thing that was toughest for me was having to wait for the elevators. Like, if you're waiting for them, you're probably going to get shot once or twice. I mean, I even tried to kind of move around on the spot while waiting for it, but it's still tough when there's 3 people shooting you, because one of them's probably going to be wherever you move around to.
Yeah, definitely. That happened a lot. I did like, though, that there was different paths you could take, so it didn't get too boring the more you played it. I did feel like, though, even though this is a timed minigame, I felt like maybe there was too much time. It was almost a little bit too easy for the single player to get to the top sometimes.
Yeah, and that's not to say the single player always won, but it did feel a little bit easy.
Yeah, you definitely could get hit a few times and still be fine.
So overall, Gun the Runner is pretty fun no matter which side you're on. That's not to say it doesn't have its issues. No matter which side you play on, it is held back a bit by some pretty minor issues. But regardless of these issues, it's still really fun to play, and it doesn't make it into a horrible minigame. We're giving this one 4 stars out of 5.
Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this review, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Up next, we'll be playing In the Nick of Time. Well, hopefully time will be on our side in this minigame.
If you want to see how it is, come back for our next video.
Hope to see you then.
Woohoo! Mario's the winner!